Good morning, guys. Ingemar here. Today we want to have a look at Loki from a different perspective. For that purpose, I have an interview partner here, Stephanie. She's my girlfriend. She got in touch with Loki, of course. She had to. And so we're going to ask her a few questions and see what she thinks about the car. Well,
Hi.
you had to live now with Loki for a few months with the whole project, actually since a few years now. What were your first thoughts about the car from the beginning?
From the beginning. So it's a typical female point of view because it's just huge. That was my first impression. It was just, it's huge. How can I drive with this car? That was my first. That was my first
What were your
impressions.
cars before? What kind of cars did you drive?
BMW, smaller ones.
Yeah. So you had an i3, you had an X1, and before that a VW Charan, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, good.
So
it's significantly bigger.
it's bigger, but it was important that dog fits in there. So that is the most important thing for me because my dog has to be with me. So it was the first thing I was checking if the dog and the box has enough space.
Yeah, and that's a huge box. It's a big crate. It's the XL, I think.
Yeah.
And it fits in there perfectly.
Yeah.
Well, coming back to the dog, the platform is quite high.
Yeah, it is.
So that might be an issue for especially an older dog. That's why we got the ramp. Two reasons I would say. First of all, the dog is getting older.
Yes.
So it's better for his joint if he has not to jump up and down all the time. Plus the second, I'm not the youngest anymore either, so if I have to lift him up all the time, well, that saves my back as well.
Yeah,
so
it's
I think that's
quite
a good
huge,
solution.
high. So it's easier for him to get in. And we saw it already when we are parking the car at home and the box is open. He goes in there.
Just to have a nap.
Just to rest. Just to chill in the box. So the ramp is a really good,
add-on.
Thing for him. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good. The size was definitely worrying you.
Yeah.
Anything else you were not sure about the car in the beginning?
The comfort, like comfortable driving on the motorway. It was for me. It's for you. It's like the car for the daily use. So I have still my car on my own, but still we are driving a lot, and I'm also with you as a passenger. So it was important for me that I have comfortable seating. Heat seats.
Yeah, especially if we go for long trips, we normally take this one because we have a lot of luggage plus Tor with us.
Yeah.
Of course.
So the comfort and comfortable driving was important for me because we also changed the drivers. So
of course.
I also have to drive as the driver.
You want to drive now.
I want to drive.
So talking about the passenger side, there was a huge discussion going on about the little hump in the footrest area. What's your thought about that?
So I'm big. I'm 1.75 meters, and I have really long legs. But it's not a problem. It's not an issue at all.
It's not really uncomfortable.
No, it's not, because you can move your chair back, so you have a lot of space there. It's not a big problem.
And talking about the second row, the rear seats,
they're cool. There. They're cool because you sit higher, so you have a really cool overview. And especially with the safari windows, you also have the opportunity to see into the sky. Also the traffic lights when you're sitting in the second row.
That also helps sometimes as a driver, because if you're very close to a high traffic light, you can see through the safari windows. I figured that out already. So that's also a nice feature of those windows.
Yeah.
True.
So no, it's really comfortable to drive as a passenger with the car as well. And so also nice for me because I was worrying about the direct steering. Steering in the first impression, so I was not used to it, and also I'm not used to drive off-road. But after the first drive, I think I was picking you up from the airport. I drove around 300 kilometers. You get so used to it, so it's not a problem, and it's just kind of different. For sure it is, but it's a different car, but you get used to it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to get used to it. So the first drive, it's surprising how it reacts. It's not turning itself back after the turn. You have to actively bring it back. But once you figure that out, I think it's.
But you get used to it, and it's not hard to get used to it, because it's also a nice and slowly and easy steering.
That's true.
Yeah.
So next, well, still talking about driving, there was also a discussion about the Viper of the car. Did you, while you drove it through the rain, was there anything you really figured out that's blocking your view, or
What's the Viper?
The windscreen Viper?
Oh, no.
So, because there's this discussion about this huge blind spot on the left-hand side, but that's my impression as well. I think I didn't even realize until people pointed it out, until I paid attention to it.
No.
So, and also in general, the vision out from the driver's seat.
No, it's good because you sit higher. You got a really nice overview. It's because it's a huge window. So normally you are used to look in the middle. So you always get connected to the right side because we are driving on the left side. No, that's not a problem at all.
No. And I think you can also figure out the dimensions of the car. Despite it being a large car, you can still see where it ends. Sometimes even easier than in a small car where you don't see the hood. Because from the seating position you can see the edges of the hood. I think that as well. Yeah, well, I think that's about the on-road driving.
On-road driving is nice. I also have to mention I'm a really bad passenger because we drive a lot in the night, and so I'm really used to get into the car. Ingemar is driving and I fell asleep, so I really can recommend our seats. I think they are, how is it called, the brand?
Recaro.
Yeah,
Recaro
they are
seats.
really, really nice also for passenger, and heated seats. We got heated ones for me.
That helps also falling asleep, I assume.
Yeah, so it's really nice for sleeping as well. So the on-road performance is not what I expected that it is. It's better.
Yeah, you were worried about that.
Yeah.
Noise level.
Especially
comfort of the
compared with
drive.
our older car.
Yeah.
So we had a BMW before, so I was really used to comfy car and nice driving, and so I'm really surprised that the car is, doing a really good job.
Good. You haven't been driving off-road before in any car, so the first steps were with the Grenadier, with Loki. You took it around the little playground we have next to our house in Carinthia. So how was that? How did it feel any way difficult or overwhelming?
No, the car knows what it has to do, and especially with your explanations, how can you drive safely? So the off-road performance, how do you say it, like the buttons, what I have to press.
The controls.
The controls, what I have to press when we are in off-road. The car knows exactly what it has to do, and you have a really nice feeling also with the automatic gear.
Something less you have to worry about because it's shifting very nicely. You don't have to think about that. It's basically steering and finding the perfect line, and that's it.
Yeah, so I can really concentrate just on driving and not how which
operating
gang I choose, which gear I choose.
Yeah, I think it's also, in my impression is also the car is reassuring. It gives you the comfort that you know the car is capable of doing whatever you do, because you are the limit. It's not the car.
Yeah.
So that makes it easier to drive off-road with the Grenadier. I think so as well. There's one thing you already answered in your question, because I was pointing out the controls of the car. Are they easy to understand for you? Because there is a lot of switches, which I love, but it might be a bit too much for someone who gets into the car first.
there are actually just a few of them what you really need every time for off-roading. So the other ones are just like the battery. So you get used to it, and especially they are huge. So they are not the small ones, so they are really huge. You can see it, they are nicely explained with a picture on it, so it's easy
Sure, it helps as
also
well.
for me. And yeah.
That's actually a good point, because you have a switch for each system,
Yeah.
which you don't have in other modern cars, where you have to go into sub-menus and control and so on and find out everything where it is on the screen.
Yeah.
I think that helps actually. It looks a bit overwhelming in the beginning, so many
But you get
switches,
really
only
used to
as I
it.
said, you only need a few of them.
Yeah,
That's
you
true,
only
that's a very
need,
good point.
you always need the same one. So it's actually easy because you press every time the same buttons when you go off-roading, and it's explained with a picture on it. So you can't really do something wrong, and especially there's nothing it's just more what you need maybe for not driving on the off-road terrain. So
Yeah. So after your first impressions going off-road with Loki, would you go off-roading again in that car?
yes, I
Good.
would. And I would go with it on my own as well. So I can leave you at home as well.
So I take the keys with me the next time I have to leave.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
That's nice. So on-road, off-road, we touched those topics now. How practical is the car on a daily basis? Because we use it as a daily car, as a daily drive. Was very important in the decision to get Loki as well. So what do you think about the daily operation of the car, the daily practical?
There's a lot of space, so traveling it's good. Most important thing for me is still my dog, enough space for our further plans. So we want to travel with a tent on it. There is a lot of space, and it's nice driving, it's comfortable. We can switch the seats in the second row, so we have more space. So yeah, it's easy, and it's good planned, especially because you don't lose some space, because it's like this, like a box, so you don't lose space, and yeah.
It uses the available space
Yeah.
perfectly, because it's really the boxy design and the measurements. We talked about those in a different video already. But yeah, as you were mentioning the future plans, so we're going to do some modifications on the car. As I said, there might come a drawer system in here to have a flat surface with the seats folded back, plus of course a roof rack and a rooftop tent. And that's the next project. We're going to, of course, let you know about that as well once we go on big journeys with Thor, of course, as well. So that was one of the requirements for the car as well, that it suits and fits the three of us on a longer trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's next steps we are going to do. True. How easy is it for you to get in and out of the car?
Good point. You get used to it. It's pretty high to get in, and it's pretty high to get out, but I'm not driving with high heels, so that's not a big problem. And especially you got
The handle.
a handle,
The grip on, yeah.
so you can help yourself in and you can help yourself out, so it's not a problem at all.
Especially on the on the passenger side,
Yeah.
you have this huge handle, the grab handle, which helps you to get in and out. Not so much on the driver's side. You have still one up there, but as I said, you find your technique. Since I have Loki only with the rock sliders, that makes it a bit more difficult. I could have gone for the side steps, but again, it's reducing the clearance a little bit. If that might be a problem, I think the aftermarket is already taking care of that. I've seen already some modifications which offer you a step with rock sliders as well. So there's something already in the making out there, and the aftermarket finds a solution for everything.
Yeah, but
Yeah, as I
still,
said, you
we
find
are
your
young,
technique.
we are sporty,
For now.
so we are able to get in and get out
That's
of the
true.
car. Yeah.
That is true. Good, perfect. You already touched our future plans as well with the car. I think we talked about it. So we're going to go overlanding definitely with the car. We're going to add a few more bits and pieces here and there, and then we are on the road. So, as a summary, how would you describe the Grenadier Loki in 3 words or 3 short sentences?
First of all, reliable, because yeah,
Yeah,
we
we have now 10,000 kilometers on it,
yeah
and
we
no
drove a
issues
lot
whatsoever
already, and
for now. Yeah.
there is still, I can't really recommend something what they had do better, or yeah, so reliable. Also surprising, because I wasn't really imagine that it's really all packed in, so it's really a car for daily use and for off-roading, and it perfectly matches. And reliable, surprising, and yeah, adventurous, because there's
So,
a lot coming,
yeah,
and we have a lot of plans. It was bought on purpose. So yeah, we have a lot of plans, and looking
exactly.
forward to this.
We had
And
something in mind when
yeah,
we took the decision to get that car, and as you said, I think it's a perfect companion for any adventure that is coming up.
yeah,
No matter what we're going to do, Loki is not letting us down, I guess.
yeah. A second dog fits also perfectly. We
At
have to talk
least a
about
second one.
it. So no,
Yeah.
it's really the perfect car for our plans and for our future plans. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Anything you want to add?
No.
There was one more question coming up in the comment sections. The size of the fob of the car. So that's the Grenadier. That's a BMW, so it's the same. And here we have a Audi, just to touch a different brands. So it's the same size. Just to finish up with that. And yeah, I think that's it for today's episode. The next one is going to be a 10,000 kilometer review. We're going to air that next week. So if you're interested, subscribe. If you have questions, leave it in the comment sections. We're going to answer them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.